The Origins of Life, Chi Creation, Part 33. So, continuing the last one, we're talking about, I'm not sure if I think it cut off before I said, about the shape that you get on the frog. So, like, where the eye is and all that kind of thing. And it's got, like, that extra bit there. So, it's got this shape which goes around its eye. Then you get its ear around there kind of thing. Which that, in itself, is like an eye as well. It's more like the horse's eye because it's long. But that's like its iris, all the colours like mixing in, so all the sunlight and colour, the white of the eye. So you kind of turn it round, mix it into the right positions, and that's what you've got in that way. So yeah, basically it's that's what it was. Yeah, we've got this bit as well. So like the cat's leg had come down, and then its tail would go along. So like that part aspect of the frog, after ear. So it's got its eye, its ear, this shape, and then it extends into that where the tail lifts up. So that's like where the wave is. So that'd be the concave part of a wave within there kind of thing. And then, like we've seen this before, haven't we? But like that essence of like having that wave there, and then you got all the black water, so it's all smooth. So there's no froth or color reflection kind of coming off it in that kind of way. It's just all like that smooth water, so it's not really picking up anything. So it relates to all the fish we've seen with the froth going along the side with the wave, all the birds, anything else with that black line, which kind of goes along the, usually along the face, across over the eye. So you get it here as well. Different because it's at the front rather than the sides. So you got the froth of a wave at the top. So, and also like most of the froth is hiding a lot of the detail of the face. So we did see it on like the previous episodes. Oh, well, we're talking about a few different aspects of the face and stuff. Like I suppose, like not just previous episodes, but previous series. So here again, we've got this repetition of like the frog. You got the one eye there, and then you got the second roll-up wave for the ear. So we're getting that association now. Like we saw the kestrel, and it's got like this pattern over its face and that kind of way. So it's the same one, it's the same pattern, but on a different creature. Well, it's still a bird, but we're seeing the repetition of a pattern. All the froth coming out of the wave as it explodes out. All the sunset, foot red. So, back onto this. As I showed you this ages ago. All them streaky lines like the teeth of a wave. And that's the cat's tail, like what we saw with frog, and on that previous picture of a fish with its fin. So, it's got trail as it leaves. It's kind of like the teeth, but it's the spray rather than the actual water. So again, you can see the spray causing these teeth-like patterns, but you can also see it in water as well. You can see the grooves that it creates. your time lapse, so even you can see it stretching out, so you can get further aspect to it. So it maintains, it stays with the body of the water because it's kept the time lapse of the overexposure. So again, it's the same thing, but I mean, you see it on wave, don't you? But it's just showing you the same example, but it's not part of a wave. One aspect of this, it's got its laminar flow, so it's like the perfect flow, isn't it? And so it'll maintain that, what I mean, as long as there's continuous water coming along. But on a wave, it's only for a moment. I mean, it goes into that shape. It's constantly transforming, like we said about the lip turning into the teeth and so on and stuff. Oops. That's how we see it. And there's quite a few different creatures with kind of teeth like that as well. You think about the whale's teeth, and how they're all like right long and thin. They're all like right close together. It's kind of like similar to this. But then it's also you get this kind of thing. Getting closer, so you can see that time lapse effect. So the wave comes over, creates all these teeth. So it gives reason for why it's got this and where it comes from. So the wave rolls over, you can see how it mixes with oxygen and suddenly starts to get that white colour. Why we have white teeth. It's also the roll of a wave. Alright, so that's the next bit. Now we're looking at this. We looked at that leaf, so you can see the lines of a leaf, the spine of a wave. It's kind of repeated. The light's coming through and making the effect on the floor. It even makes it looks like it's lifted. It does lift it in some ways, but most of it's an optical illusion. But it looks lifted. It lifts the sand up and stuff like that kind of thing. But there's other pictures to show where it lifts the sand up and stuff like. But you can see how it kind of creates that illusion that. See down there, it does look like this sand being picked up, but that's where the wave is actually turning. It's not doing it here, not quite. But yeah, still we've got these lines that come off it, and it goes that way as well because you got the trail of a wave. So another example. You see how it raises. It looks like it's raising. See behind you got the lines as well. And see in front you can see lines. So water drawing back, it pulls out waves taut into that line, So again, you get your rib shapes. A start to form. It's quite good. It's quite a small wave, but you can see where it's all pulling up water, so it's creating them lines, and then behind there's a similar thing going up. You can't really tell as well because there's a lot of cymatic patterns going on, but but you can get the feel for it. You know, as that pulls, it rolls, and as that pulls that way, it's pulling this. As it continues to pull that way, it's also pulling that. So we're both going, you know, into that one area. So you can see lines, you can see spine, you can see these kind of lines that go over. I like them bits. Reflections of Love and Light were like towards the end of the series, that were quite relevant. So we've got our spines, our mammal spines. Probably not human, but so we can see. You see how it lifts, and you got the curling of a wave. See at angle as well, so it looks like you're looking at the wave tunnel. So you get your center line there, then, you know. So again, like the wave. There's a lot more I want to mention about, like the realm itself, you know, like having that understanding of what the realm is like. So if we look inside a Taurus field, it's got a tunnel that goes through it, and then we've got two parts to it in that kind of sense. So again, you can see all the lines, how it all forms in that kind of way. It's a bit grim though. And one from the other side, so you can see that kind of shape. Then from inside, and then how that looks like a spider. You see like the information, how that's been repeated and shared. And so it's also like an onion, it's also like a wood knot, all that kind of thing. And quite often you get the two wood knots, so it's showing you the reflection, and that's when it starts to look like a face. As you can see, that line is pulling. It wants to create that spine. So you can see shape. This side, it pulls and contorts and goes into the flow. And you can see sand being pulled up there. Then we've got same shape here. And so we can see the wave, we can see how it creates the teeth or the ribs in that kind of way. So, like them creatures that they look like, prehistoric creatures. Another aspect of how they separate, so you can see like the water, how it connects, as water does separate. There's a lot of creatures which kind of carry that trait, like woodlouse, etc. It's got a heart shape as well. So we see this with all these different coloured ones and stuff. It looks like you got the air, the oxygen mixed in with the water, so it's getting the different colours. So you're seeing those kind of patterns and stuff. You see how like the green parts look like leaves? It looks like it's got a painting of a leaf, of a plant with loads of leaves on each leaf. They're like, a big leaf, little leaf. So it's catching sunlight with red and stuff. So again, how the air gets in the water and creates that teeth shape. Or ribs. So they're like in wave. The water draws back. But it depends which way we look at it. I've done that example before on another one. I had a better picture for showing it because it looked perfectly like it. I spent ages trying to find another one, but I could only find them examples I've brought. So millipedes. Instantly you can see the wave. You can see each tooth of a wave. You look at the other direction and they're waves going the other way. So each one is a wave, but in two different ways and stuff. So the teeth of a wave come out. It's shallow water, so it's only got short legs in that kind of sense. We can create the S shape, and again you got the teeth of a wave, how that comes out in that kind of way. It can curl over like the curl of the wave. So even though it's in a 2D sense rather than a standing up. I suppose each part's got frothant waves as well. Is it like the segmentations, like your spine? It's got its spiral, so it wants to be in its comfort place, remembering its origin. It was called a house centipede. I'm sure there's another name for it, but in terms of like seeing its positions of its legs and stuff, they're quite high, but at the same time, it's gonna like the back picture. I see it there quite well. It's almost like your sternum, and then all your ribs coming off it. Or you turn your back around and you can see your spinal column, and that's like looking at the ribs from behind you. I like that one. So, oops. Back to that again. So, some centipedes also have these parts at the end. As you can see how leaf-like they are. It almost looks like seaweed. Even the appendages of legs kind of thing do as well. So another aspect, you can see the roll of a wave. This is a lot of water drawing back in. It's a reflection of it. And so you're seeing the wave there. Alright, so spiders. Being a significant shape, you can see the flower bud shape. It's resting on something, and quite often flowers have that second part. So you've got both of those aspects of things. So, like it being a symbol of creation, it kind of makes so much sense in that kind of way. Like now, understanding it more, the like relating it to the flowers and such. So you can see that kind of thing, can't you? So, in one sense, we can relate it to the ocean, what we've done quite often, but also to the plants. So, when we're looking for where we came from, understanding the relationship between us both, like us, the plants, and the realm itself, then it just seems more and more, it seems to make more and more sense that this is where we came from. I see those leaves look similar to what were coming off of a centipede. It's also a similar shape. It's a slightly different shape. But we still see it in like flower buds. It's quite common for us to get flower buds like that. So it splits. It's like the flower buds are ready to open in that kind of way. Sun. See how waves crashing, all inconsistent patterns. For how detailed it is for such a small creature. Oops, wrong way. So more water. It's quite bright, so I wasn't expecting it to pick up well on my phone, but you can see the inconsistency though. I've got a better one there. It's like all the inconsistency. It's breaking up and stuff. So again, you can see waves. But also its ability to float on water, where it's learnt that from. So its relationship with the water again, in that kind of sense. Not where it's learnt it from, it's where it's been given the gift from, in that kind of sense. But also like the pattern it creates. So it's kind of like a flower, side to it, like, you know, each petal coming off. And that one more for look like tree trunks, but also like comparative to bamboo, you know, growing in sections. So you got your tooth that comes off it. It's like one piece of a yin yang. So you know it's going to show you where that comes from as well in a way. You know, like, it's like one wave creating that shape. So again, you can see like with flower bud, how it creates the lip of a wave around there. So you're seeing the S shape, you're seeing the wave, you're seeing all the colours and stuff. It's a bit bright actually, it's not picking it up properly. But you can see like sunlight or whatever coming in. So again, like the flower bud, how it opens, it'll split open. So we saw it on the spider, but it were only an image. But on this, it does literally split open. I didn't get a picture of that though. But you know, how it bends down, it's kind of like going into that position. And it's sat on something, if it were going down in that kind of sense. See the roll of a wave. The roll of a wave, all the water that gets stuck in the wave and becomes this. And it's also the direction and the sea curl of the wave as it goes over. So a smaller reflection. It depends on angle at sun, I suppose. Like your, it won't turn. Your terrapin we looked at and we spoke about it like a flower bud opening, and it's also the shape of a wave. So you got it there as a similar shape and stuff and colour. But then again, you know, for spiders and beetles, it's got its abdomen and then its thorax kind of thing. So the relationship with it being like an important shape. It's like 1 and 2. Yin and yang aspect to it. It's like the typical shape for a chakra. So it's got a point and then it's got a rounded edge. So it's got this yin yang property to it in its shape. How it brings things into the world in that kind of sense. So when we think about plants and what their experience of the realm is, you know, we've not got eyes, but they will have like a spiritual conscious. So how they perceive the world may even be more like in this kind of sense of perception. You can feel the colour, you know, I mean, more than see it, so it's blurry or whatever and stuff, but it's more like a feeling, the vibration, you know, they've got like a state of being that they exist in. It's kind of like being in the ocean. It's like an ocean picture, but it's kind of blurry and loads of colours and stuff, like all blending. That's one of the things it experiences. So like the flowers repeating what the sun is, in a sense, like the consciousness that the sun is, it repeats it, it recreates it, and it allows it to have its experience here. And so you got fish eggs. They're not all green, but green, not all orange, but the most sun-looking ones. It's because I said the word orange. It kind of like tripped me out a little bit. But I also like the development of them. That one looks like a Death Star. It's got that part there. It's like, I think it's its tail, and it's like growing and developing maybe. Well, yeah, it is, but if that's its tail or not, I don't know. You see, it's got its head, and you can see its body. So it's probably its body, but that does turn into its tail. So we're seeing its level line in that kind of sense. I did an episode quite a while ago. Chakras, micro and macro, and that will be the the level line. Like, so, like the fish grow within the ball of its egg, and stay level, kind of thing. Oh yeah, that's the last one. I'm gonna run out of time, so I'm gonna just end it there and start the next one soon. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you in a bit. Thank you.